is the Writer's Almanac for Wednesday. It's the 1st of September, 2021. 1939, on this day, Nazi Germany invaded Poland and World War II began. W.H. Auden wrote his poem entitled September 1st, 1939, which begins, "I sit in one of the dives on 52nd Street, uncertain and afraid as the clever hopes expire of a low, dishonest decade. Waves of anger and fear circulate over the bright and darkened lands of the earth, obsessing our private lives. The unmentionable odor of death offends the September night." It became one of Auden's most famous poems, the poem that includes towards the end the line, "We must love one another or die." It was on this day, 1904, Helen Keller graduated from Radcliffe, the first blind and deaf student ever to graduate from any college anywhere. 1773, Phillis Wheatley published Poems on Various Subjects, Religious and Moral, the first book ever published by a former American slave. She'd been bought by a family in Boston. They caught her drawing on the wall with chalk. It was clear that she was trying to make letters, and so the daughter of the family taught her to read. She started to write poetry. No publisher in America would publish it, so she went off to London, and her book was published there. It was on this day in 1707 the Irish writer Richard Steele sat in St. James' Coffee House in London and wrote a love letter to Miss Mary Skurlock, who he wanted to marry him. He wrote, "1,000 torments dwell about thee, yet who would live to live without thee." They were married in 1707 and had a happy marriage until she died in 1718. Richard Steele was a busy man. He co-founded the Spectator magazine along with Joseph Addison, but he found time to write more than 400 letters to Mary Skurlock. And it was on this date in 1902 the silent film A Trip to the Moon was released in France, written and directed by Georges Méliès, based on Jules Verne's From the Earth to the Moon and H.G. Wells's The First Men in the Moon, about a group of astronomers traveling to the moon and meeting a group of aliens. They traveled on a spacecraft shaped like a bullet, which was fired from a giant cannon. Here's a poem for today by Kim Dover. They're taking chocolate milk off the menu. And that's only the beginning. I hear other junk food is at risk. Brownies, pastries, name it, they're removing it. The only chance fifth graders have at happiness. The only thing I looked forward to was chocolate milk, especially after getting yelled at by Miss Paniutu. I once poured a carton over her inbox, watched the ink bleed down the equation-filled pages, blurring the names of my classmates. Never told anyone, not even Donna Nagy. And now they're taking it off the menu. What will our kids be forced to do? Will they devour each other, eat one another's faces, run across the handball court sword fighting with dry straws, wasted with desire? Word just in, they're even removing strawberry milk. We never had that. I'm sure it didn't smell like the chocolate, a little sour, like yesterday's dessert. We had to drink it before it turned, when it was still cold enough that even our mittens couldn't protect us. A poem by Kim Dover, They're Taking Chocolate Milk Off the Menu, from her collection Slice of Moon. That's the Writer's Almanac for Wednesday, September the 1st. Be well, do good work, and keep in touch.